Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Organic Intelligence. Today, I'm joined by Daisy. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. My name is Daisy Avila. I am a fourth year and I'm studying data science here at Berkeley.
Awesome. So, before we get into your time here at Berkeley, let's dive a little bit into your high school experience. And so, what are some things in high school that you did that prepared you for college?
Yeah, so I was in this program called Smash. It was the first time that I got introduced to like the college style. You basically apply your freshman year of high school. It's a 3 year program, so you only get to apply once. And then if you get in, it's only for minority students. So once you get in, you get to pick a couple classes and then you go to a college for the summer. So I stayed at Berkeley for 5 weeks, the summer after my freshman year. And that was the first time I took a computer science class. I took some math classes, and then at the end we like worked to come up with like a prototype to solve like a greater problem. So I think that was honestly the best experience in my high school that got me ready for college.
Awesome. So, it sounds like this program sort of threw you into the college life before, so you got a feel for it. And so, do you think adjusting from high school to college was easier because of it?
I think it was definitely a lot easier to navigate the Berkeley campus because I had been here before. But the part that kind of sucked about that program was because COVID happened. I only got to experience one summer here, so it did definitely help. But I think because I had to go online for 2 years, it didn't help too much. Maybe it could have helped a little bit more. But for sure, I got a lot more confidence, I guess. My mentality was before then, maybe I don't think I can do something STEM related. Maybe I don't really know what I want to do in college. But once I went into the program and after the program, I realized that there's other people that look like me that are interested in STEM and that are doing it actively. So I think it helped me in that way, more of like a confidence boost. But as for navigating the college experience, I wouldn't say it helped too much because we were online for 2 years.
So you touched upon taking a CS class, and so any of the classes that you took during that program, do you think it helped influence sort of the classes that you're taking now in the direction that you want in your career?
Yeah, as I said, like the CS class was the first time that I had taken a CS class. So I think that definitely made me realize, it's not too hard in the sense of I thought it was like completely like foreign to me. And once I had it in front of me, I was like, okay, it's not that bad. But I did think it is pretty bad. I don't want to do it ever again. So I think that having that experience kind of made me realize that computer science itself was not for me. But we took math classes where we applied everything to real life. So we would do, which actually kind of thinking about it is crazy because we talked about a pandemic. So the project that we had that summer was to build something to help for a pandemic, and we made a mask, which low key, like I'm thinking about it right now, like that's a little crazy. But I think the math and like all of the classes that did application and stuff like that was like a lot more, I guess, helped me choose the classes that I'm taking right now. But I did also know that computer science, no thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. So coming to Berkeley and coming with these prior ideas and sort of experiences, how was it like coming on campus and finding community?
Honestly, it was really difficult. My freshman year of college was really tough. I went through a lot of personal things that I feel kind of hindered my experience. So fall semester was pretty rocky. And then in the spring, I started, okay, like I need to get out of my shell. I need to stop like being comfortable all the time because that wasn't making me feel any better. So I really put myself out there and I started hanging out with a lot more people and like being proactive, as in like reaching out. Hey, are you going to the football game this Saturday? Like, can I come with you? And it was always yes, and it was people waiting for me to text them, but like me not texting them was just me stopping myself. So once I feel like I took a gulp of like pride and like put myself out there, that's when finding community got a lot easier. And I actually met a lot of people through LBSA or for LBSA before I even was in the club. So I was pre-gaming at their apartment with them before I was even in the club. So I think just putting myself out there and meeting new people was really what helped me feel confident.
Awesome. So talking a little bit about your major, right now you're studying data science, right? So how did that transition from wanting to do more math to data science look like?
Yeah, so I came in as an applied math major, and I took my classes that I needed to. So that was Math 1B, which I guess is now Math 52. Someone called me Unk the other day because I didn't know the difference. But I took Math 1B, and then my spring semester I took Math 53, which is multivariable calculus, and that class was really hard. Like, I did not enjoy it whatsoever. And I kind of had to start thinking, like, all right, Daisy, I'm not enjoying this. I literally want to cry every single night when I'm doing homework. Maybe I should start thinking of something else. So I made sure to pass that class, and then I started looking at what other options are available to me. At that time, I was thinking stats or data science because, as I mentioned, I love working with numbers. But math was just too math. Like, it was no thank you. So I started thinking, all right, how do I apply, like, how can I do actual real world work with numbers? So I saw data science and stats, and I took both stats 20 and data 8. I talked to what is it called?
Academic advisor.
An academic advisor, and they basically told me, girl, that's the same thing. So I thought about it a little bit more, and I realized data science has the most, like, I realized that I can do the most with it. So data analytics was honestly eye-opening. Like, when we're working with charts and, like, extracting data and stuff like that, that's the kind of coding that I'm comfortable with, and that's the kind of stuff that I like to do. So honestly, it was just looking out for myself, as in being, conscious. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do this for 4 years because I don't enjoy it, and looking for something, I guess, that more fits my interests.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So talking a little bit more about like the professional aspect of going to college, do you have any like prior experiences like over the summer that sort of helped you like get like move toward that professional aspirations that you have?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the SMASH program was really helpful in high school, and then once you finish that program, there's they have what is called internship. They have like an internship program. So I signed up for that, and that gave you the option of like applying for certain internships. So the first one that I looked at was with Gap, and then I think that one was kind of online, so I didn't really get too much out of that. But the second internship that I had was the summer after my freshman year of college, and that was at a venture capital firm in Oakland called Kport Capital. And I think honestly that experience I was working a lot with metrics and like numbers, so I kind of felt more comfortable with numbers and like in the sense of data science. So when it came time to thinking about what I wanted to do, I kind of gravitated more towards data science because I had that experience. But I also realized I didn't really like to do consulting work because it was very much you're given a problem, here's what we want, and like figure it out. And though I do like doing that and it was really fun, I realized like that's not my type of thing for the long run. But because I was looking at like analytics and stuff like that, I started combining my other interests, and I really love baseball. So that's when I realized, oh my God, you can do data analytics in sports, and now that's kind of where I'm going towards.
Oh, awesome. Cool. So what did a day-to-day look like in that internship?
Yeah, so it was really fun because I got to go into the office. So I was a little commuter. I would wake up at like 6:30, go into the Oakland office, and then I had my little key card, so I would like tap in, and then they had like a nice kitchen, so we would get some snacks, and then we'd go in and start talking. I'd talk with the rest of my team, who I actually worked with. 2 people that went to Cal, 1 person that went to UC Merced, and then someone that went to Stanford. So that was my little group, and we would kind of come together, talk about what we've done, what we did either the day before or the week before, how the company that we were working for is like still like lacking. So honestly, every day would be different. Sometimes we'd be working on, I guess, the way their marketing looks visually. That was my favorite part, was like coming up with like a slide deck for the company colors, or a posting schedule. Like, okay, if you guys post this on this day, you'll get a lot more traction based on like what you've done in the past. So every day was different, but we would basically just go off of whatever the company needed and whatever we had done the day before.
Awesome. So kind of moving towards extracurriculars, what are some extracurriculars that you're involved in now?
Yeah, so I joined, so again, like I said, freshman year was a little tough, but once I started to put myself out there, I ran into the LBSA tent, which is the Latinx Business Student Association. tent on campus, my wonderful friend, who I still like talk to her today, Jaleesa, she was the one that recruited me. She was like, "Are you a Latina? Are you a Latina?" I was like, "Oh, got me." So I started talking to her, and I realized that the club was more than just like a business club. It was also like a sense of community. So that was the first club that I really got involved in. I was also in Hermanas Unidas for a little bit, and then Superb as well. But honestly, LBSA was the place that I felt more comfortable in. So I was a part of their external affairs committee my sophomore year, fall and spring. And yeah, I kept going with LBSA. I joined the marketing department of Superb. So I got a lot of fun, I guess, experience through that too. But yeah, mostly just LBSA right now. And then I also work at the library. So those two take up most of my time. Oh, and I'm also on Senator Rolarte's team. So I'm the co-director of academic and pre-professional opportunities.
Awesome. So I know you're president of LBSA right now. So how's it like being a leader for such a big group?
Yeah, it was actually kind of like I honestly never would have thought that I would have been in this position. I joined my sophomore year, and then I honestly really I like, well, okay, my sophomore year I joined and I went to the retreat, their fall retreat. I had known nobody. Like, honestly, I had gone into this club really by myself. And I met a lot of people through those like opportunities. So when we went to retreat, I think I only went to retreat because I had a car, and they needed extra drivers. But I was driving the presidential vehicle because I had the president of the club at that time in my car, and her friends were also in the back. And I don't know, it was comfortable. And once I got to the house and everybody was there, there were people who were like juniors, seniors, like, oh my God, like I don't know you guys. But I feel like I honestly got really comfortable with everybody.
Yeah.
So it kept me wanting to continue to show up to events and like go to my meetings personally and stuff like that. So I joined external again because then I guess from the other aspect of things, I also got a lot of professional help. So as an external affairs intern, we would work with the companies, and he would like, put us into those meetings where he'd be talking with the Accenture people and like, oh, how is this gonna go? And like, how is like, and I would see him do it and I'd be like, damn, like that looks, like aura, like he looks, and then like, he looks like he got it. I could do that too. So I joined again my sophomore or my spring semester. And then at the end I was like, all right, I think I'm going to run for the position, of the SVP of external. So I did. And then I got it, and I think that's when I kind of realized, like, okay, now I see myself as more of a leader, because at the beginning it was really tough, because how do you get people to take you seriously if, like, you haven't really proved it? So I felt like I hadn't really proved that I could be taken seriously yet. But I did my damage junior year. I got like $16,000 in like money for LBSA, a ton of sponsorships and like collabs with companies. And honestly, like, I guess organizing all of that and feeling confident enough to organize all of that and seeing people come in and like seeing the work, or I guess like the outcome, because people would get internships or people would get like LinkedIn's for people and like start like talking to them and be like, okay, like that opportunity actually did something, kind of gave me the confidence to keep going. So I would say it's just like, it was tough, and I definitely never thought that I would be the president. But by continuing to like challenge myself and actually trying to like lead a team and do all of that, I realized I do have the skills and like the potential to keep going. So then after junior year, I was like, okay, I still have a lot more to give in terms of how I want LBSA to look, because I felt like there was a lot of just like, I don't know, like misinterpretations. People didn't really know that our club was like here not just for business people, and how close we all actually are and how we actually all like each other. So that was really my goal, and when I ran for president, that was my main thing. So yeah.
So how was it like campaigning and putting in that work to get those votes?
It was tough. I was really excited when I started campaigning. I guess I had realized I wanted to run for president early on in my external experience, because I was like, wait, like I have a nick for this thing, like I could do it.
Yeah.
And so when it came time to actually start campaigning, I just like, I was like talking to people, I'd be like, oh yeah, like I'm running for president. Like, did you know that? And then I started reaching out to people to be in my video and stuff like that. Luckily, my girlfriend, she likes to record and like edit and stuff too. So
Oh,
she was
nice.
helping me with my video. But I mean, it was tough in the sense of there were a lot of things being spread about me. There was a lot of like hate coming my way that I obviously couldn't control. So it was a lot in the sense of I was really excited and like I had a lot like looking forward to, and then it just I kind of got shot down a lot, and it felt like maybe this is too much for me. But honestly, I don't regret it. I think it taught me a lot of like valuable lessons in the sense of like people can say whatever they want. It doesn't affect me unless I let it affect me. So it was challenging, but I mean, I won, and I feel like I played honestly. Like I was putting in my part. I was talking to people, reaching out, making sure people felt comfortable with me. Because at the end of the day, nobody's gonna vote for someone that they aren't comfortable with leading. But yeah, it was tough, but I think it was ultimately a good experience in the sense of I learned a lot about myself. And I felt more comfortable with people around me too, because I actually started talking to people and like learning about how they see LBSA, and it shaped my vision of LBSA too.
Awesome. So, what are some projects that you're working on currently with LVSA?
Yeah, so I actually had a Zumba the other day. I'm really trying to work on, I guess, having people be aware that mental health is a big thing, because honestly that's why my freshman year kind of sucked. Like my mental health was like going down real bad. So one thing that helped me was just staying active. I know that when I stop staying active, that's when like the depression really hits and I'm like in my room all the time. So one of my initiatives is to try to like have people go outside more and like, touch some grass. So I started taking Zumba classes in the RSF because they're free for students.
Oh, wow.
So if you go on the RSF website, they have like a list of classes that you can take, and the Zumba one like jumped out to me right away. So I started going to those Zumba classes, and they were so fun. Like it was, she would play reggaeton, like she would play some K-pop in there. There'd be like some Indian music. So it was like low-key the hour would fly by, and by the time it was over, like I was out of breath sweating, but I felt
Yeah.
great. And it was also fun, like funny, because I'd be like dancing the whole time. So just like incorporating those types of events where people are like active and like laughing with each other rather than always being in a classroom and getting information fed to you, or always feel like you got to be on top of your game when you're at an LBSA event. So it's that chill, like laid back setting. And then also the biggest thing is I really want to give credit where credit is due. The team works extremely hard. Our marketing team, they go to every event and they take pictures, and all these pictures are like posted on the Instagram. But other than that, if they're not posted on the Instagram, they don't get seen. So during my general member or like general meeting event, I really try to highlight those photos. So instead of me talking all the time, it's really the people, like the LBSA members, talking about their experience at the event. So that was honestly like really great, hearing people say, oh, I connected with someone on LinkedIn, or oh, I fixed my resume and I actually got a job because of it.
Oh,
And so it
nice.
was the events that we held, and like seeing the pictures kind of brought back those memories. And it also is like, damn, like these pictures are hella good. Like if y'all need photographers, like sign us up. So I think giving credit where credit is due, and then also just making sure people are focusing on their mental health, especially like freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, like everybody is going through a lot. So having like an hour where we could just like debrief and like play outside, basically. Yeah.
So talking about mental health, I usually ask people what they do to balance their time. Like it sounds like you're juggling a lot of responsibilities, extracurriculars, and work outside of everything, and classes, of course. So what are some ways that you use to sort of make time for things, so that for Zumba and stuff?
Um, Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, it's just honestly, it's my Google Calendar. I think it's because I have the way that my brain works. I got to see it in front of me.
Yeah.
So when I have my Google Calendar open, I can kind of visually see like, okay, this time I'm going to be probably doing homework, or I have work right now, so that's when I'm gonna get all of my stuff done, all of my homework done. And then by like chunking out my time in that way, I kind of give myself like the night, or if that night, I gotta do homework, then I gotta do homework. But basically just planning out my days or planning out my week so that I know what I have coming and know what is needs to be prioritized. And yeah, I would say just also like taking time for myself to watching Netflix or like, what's a good one? I started watching Dancing with the Stars, like the shows
Oh.
that come out weekly. I'd watch Love Island. So I'd say just like prioritizing what needs to happen and then leaving time out for myself within my week plan on Google Calendar.
Talking about mental health, what are some resources that you used or things that helped you sort of help better it?
Yeah, luckily I come from like a family that does believe in mental health resources. So I was fortunate enough to have a therapist that I could go to and I would talk to her. But when I stopped talking to her, that's when I got really bad. So it was advocating for myself, reaching back out to her, and then also like looking through the UC Berkeley website to what resources they have for students. I stumbled across the DSP kind of part, and I realized that like it was there for me, so like why not just try to like sign up for it. So I did, and now as a member of like the DSP program, I feel like it helped take the burden off of me for a lot of things. So when it comes to like I get really bad like test anxiety and like just like like I feel stressed as soon as it's coming. So I get to schedule my exams in a different place. So I get to take them. I get to take them inside MLK, which honestly has helped so much. So I think just like looking for the resources that are available to me and then actually signing up for them. I would also talk to, which I found really helpful, is all of the people in, I don't know if this is like data science specific, but all of the people in the data science department are super duper like nice, and they're there to help you. So I schedule meetings if I have to, like if I need extra accommodations or whatever it may be, or if like something gets really bad, it's better to talk to someone and like ask the questions that you want the answers to, and if the answer is no, the answer is no. But like it takes off the weight a little bit more. So yeah, reaching out to people, reaching out with academic advisors. Like when I got really nervous about my schedule, or when I got really anxious about like, holy cow, like I don't know what I'm doing at all. There's nobody else that could answer the question besides people who literally get paid to do this. So just looking for all of the resources and all of the opportunities to like get my questions answered, so that like anxiety isn't really stuck with me, and like I can worry about other things. So honestly, just looking for all of the opportunities that are available to students is really important.
Awesome. So kind of touching upon that, how important has your network been in like your college career, and do you think it's useful to have a good network like in the future?
Yeah, I honestly like for me personally, I did a lot of networking. I guess the most I've done networking is my sophomore year. My junior year, when I was the head of external. The summer before I started, I was cold emailing companies like every single day. So I think I sent out about maybe 300, 400 emails. Some of them would get like bounced back. But it was always like just trying to get LBSA's name out there. And low-key, that was like the first time that I had, I guess, put myself out there in that way, and just like started like mass email. I had never done that before. So that got me a lot more comfortable with, rejection.
Yeah.
And that I feel like was the first time that I was like, okay, if someone says no, like someone says no, but at least I asked. So when all of the recruiters would come, I would go up to them, I would introduce myself and stuff like that. And I think networking is not only important in the aspect of it gets you jobs or it gets you in the door, but it also gives you the confidence to talk to the people that you want to talk to.
Yeah.
So one thing that I did was, once I realized like I really want to go into sports analytics, I'm also a huge Giants fan. So I basically stalked the entire Giants organization, and I found the names of the people who are working in baseball operations, the names of the people who are working in their like their marketing team and stuff like that. Found them on LinkedIn, and then just cold messaged all of them. And I actually got a response from one of the guys that is on their baseball operations team, and we hopped on a phone call for maybe like an hour, and he was telling me like what they do, like what it looks like, how to get involved, when their intern applications open, what they're looking for. He sent me a direct link that was like password protected. So it was like,
Oh, wow.
I think just like being comfortable with the fact that someone's probably gonna say no was
Yeah.
what helped me a lot. And I think just like the repeated practice and like the repeated, like going into the actions honestly made me more comfortable networking, and the confidence is honestly what like kept me going. So yeah, I talked to him, and then whenever our what is it? Whenever our sponsors would come, I made sure to get like face time, and then the persona sponsors came this year, and I talked to the person, and I was like, oh my god, like we started off with you guys like 3 years ago, like when you guys were barely doing like college stuff, and now they were there, and she basically told me to apply to their internship because they would love to like, or to their full time jobs because they would love to have me and stuff like that. So it's also getting those jobs in by getting those reps, you know.
Awesome. So kind of pivoting a little bit, touching upon identity, do you think college has been important in helping you find your own identity?
100%. I think coming into coming into Cal, I did not know who I was. I again freshman year was really hard, and I think being comfortable with the fact that I I guess being comfortable with the fact that I like didn't know who I was too is also kind of like scary. But by like putting myself out there, by talking to people, I kind of realized like, okay, I'm not going to what is it called? I'm not gonna go. I'm not really the type to go to a sorority. That wasn't, I did think about it, but then I was like, that doesn't feel like authentically me. And then when I started hanging around people in LBSA, that's when I got like really comfortable because it helped me kind of feel more secure being a Latina here because there's not a lot of Latinos. And also there weren't a lot of Latinos in my high school. All of my classes in high school, I was still the only one of two Latinas, or the only Latina like for the AP classes. So I had always, I guess, been looking for that sense of community, and I found it at UC Berkeley, and I found it in LBSA, and then I also started taking Spanish classes, and low-key that made me feel more like in tune with my culture because I mean, I already knew how to speak Spanish, but my Spanish was, a little mucho, like I'm first gen, and like I grew up, my first language was Spanish, but it was definitely Chicana Spanish. And then as like I'm taking these classes, I'm like, now my Spanish, I feel like I can think in Spanish too. So that honestly made me feel more closer to my culture. And then also just like putting myself out there in Superb as well. I got more confident in like my style. And yeah, it also gave me the freedom to explore my sexuality. In high school, I knew I was gay, but I didn't really, didn't really venture out. And then when I came to college, I was like, girl, like, be who you are. So, yeah, I also got a lot more comfortable with my sexuality as well. So I think just as a whole, Berkeley has given me a lot of opportunities to really put myself out there, and some of them failed, but, here I am.
Awesome. So what is Superb for people that don't know?
Yeah, Superb is an ASUC club. So they're sponsored by the ASUC, and they throw events for students on campus. Some of the more notable ones, they've had T Grizzly here. They've had Mike. No, they did have Mike Sherm. They did have Mike Sherm. They also had Soulja Boy. I went to the Soulja Boy concert. That one ages me because that was my freshman year. But yeah, they throw concerts, they throw events, they do concert giveaways on their Instagram. They have like one event that I saw is like a Build-A-Bear one. So they're really,
awesome.
it's really for the students, and everything that they do is to make us happy.
Yeah.
So it's really all of their events and everything are specifically put on for the students, and their budget comes from the ASUC to make the students happy. So it's a really cool club, and yeah.
My final question to you is, if a younger version of yourself was watching this, what's one piece of advice that you would give them?
Ooh. Don't give up. I think it's scary. When I was applying to colleges and I was getting those like waitlist letters, I was like, oh damn, like I really, like where am I going? And then when I came to Berkeley, it was still like, oh my god, what am I doing? But everything takes time, and you will eventually find what you're looking for. You just gotta keep going and not letting one no or like one bad experience rub you off from the rest.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to
Yes,
come on the
thank
podcast.
you.
And I'll see you guys in the next one.